Now let's look at an example of a variable flow process and talk about discharging and charging a tank. Okay, so the diagram is this. So this is the supply line which is supplying the fluid to this tank. So this is the tank and this is the valve. Alright, and this is the control volume and the control surface. Now the fluid can enter from supply line through this valve into the tank, and when you are discharging it, it can also flow out of this tank through this valve. Okay, so you have both the cases, discharging and discharging. So this is what explains this arrow in the supply line. Now let us consider the first case of discharging. So let us say the tank is discharging a fluid into a supply line. So this is what is happening. So first we are discharging a fluid into the supply line. Okay, now when this is happening, this means then there is no mass inflow, because you are moving the mass out. So there is no mass inflow to the control volume. So dm in is 0, and also there is no shaft work involved. So dwx is also 0. Now we can apply the first law onto this, on this control volume. So you will have d uv, that is the internal energy of the control volume, is equal to d dash q plus. Now because there is no shaft work involved, so we will use the energy of the control volume, or the energy which is coming out of it. So you'll have h plus v square by 2 plus g into z. So this is the energy which is coming out into the mass which is coming out. So dm out. So if you're confused what we have written over here, it is nothing but the first law applied on the discharging of a fluid. So this is the internal energy, okay, which is equal to dq plus, or you can say this is the total energy which is coming out, because this is 0. If you remember, so you will have dq is equal to du plus dw. So this is 0, dq is equal to du. Okay, also we can assume that the kinetic energy and the potential energy of the fluid is very small, so it is 0. Alright, and we can say that the heat exchange is also 0. So we are assuming an adiabatic process, that of the discharging. Okay, so this is gone, this is gone, and this is gone. So you are left with duv is equal to h into dm out. This is what you are left with. Now this is the total internal energy of the control volume. The specific internal energy is small u, and if you multiply this with the mass, you get the total energy. So this is what you have. So this is in terms of specific quantities. Okay, and let us say this is h into dm. Let me just write m out as m. So let us say this is what you get, and u is the specific internal energy of the control volume. Specific internal energy of control volume. Okay, so if you analyze this equation, we would get, if you differentiate this and apply the chain rule on this, or the product rule, we would get m into du plus u into dm is equal to h into dm. Now the value of h, is we all know, is u plus pv. So if you replace it, you will get mdu plus udm is equal to udm plus pvdm. So this is what you get. Okay, now you can cancel off UDM and UDM, and you would be left with MdU is equal to PVDM. Okay, and this would leave us with dm by m is equal to du by PV. So this is, let us say, equation number 1. Okay, now the total volume is equal to capital V, and this is equal to mass into specific volume, and we know this is a constant value. This is a constant value. This is not changing. So if you find out the differential of this, you will get d into small m into small v, and this is equal to 0. Now let's apply the product rule on this. So you will get m into dv plus v into dm is equal to 0, and this would give you dm by m is equal to minus dv upon v. So this is equation number 2. So now you can equate equation 1 with equation 2, and this will give you du by PV is equal to minus dv by v. Now if you, and this is small v, not capital V, all small v's. Alright, so if you manipulate it, you will get v into du plus PV into dv. So this is what you get. Now, and this is equal to 0. If you look at this, this is nothing but the application of the product rule. So you will have this as u plus PV and its differential, which is equal to 0. This means that the enthalpy change is 0. So if there is no enthalpy change, this means that there is no heat transfer or any heat flow across the system boundary or across the control surface. Okay, so this means that the discharging of a tank is an adiabatic process. The discharging of a tank is an adiabatic process. Alright, now if you look at the charging of a tank, so if we talk about the second case now, the charging of a tank, alright, this means if you go back to the figure, there is some fluid which is coming into the control volume like this. So let us say the mass in the pipe is mp, and the mass initially in the tank is m1, and the mass after filling up becomes m2. Alright, now if you talk about the rate of mass accumulation or the total energy accumulation, the total energy that is coming from the pipe with the mass is mp into hp, that is the mass into the specific enthalpy of the fluid in the pipe. So this is the energy state in the pipe is equal to the energy in the tank after filling up minus the energy in the tank before filling up. Now if we assume that initially the tank is empty, so m1 would become 0, so this whole quantity would become 0. This would leave us with this quantity mp hp is equal to m2 into h2. So this gives us that when we assume the tank to be initially empty and we are filling it or we are charging it from a supply line, the mass of the pipeline or the mass of fluid coming from the pipeline would completely fill up the tank. So the final mass of the tank will be equal to the mass of the fluid which is coming from the pipeline. Okay, and the energy of that tank after filling up would be equal to the energy of the fluid which is coming from the pipeline. So this is a very important analysis that you need to understand. Now if we talk about charging and we say that the fluid is an ideal gas, so if we say if the fluid is an ideal gas, then the temperature of the gas in the tank after charging can be found out by this. So the fluid values are CpTp, okay, and this is equal to Cv into T2 because we are filling up a constant volume, okay, and the supply line has a constant pressure. Now if you look at this, the value of T2 is to be found out because this is the temperature of the tank after filling up or after charging, and this would be T2 is equal to Cp by Cv into Tp, and where Cp by Cv is nothing but gamma. So the temperature of the tank after filling up is equal to gamma into the temperature of the fluid in the supply pipeline. So this is again a very important relation that we have got, that is to find out the final temperature of the gas in the tank after charging if the fluid is an ideal gas. Okay, so this is a very commonly asked example of the variable flow process in the examination, that is the discharging and charging of a tank. So I hope you understood this analysis, and this finishes the first law applied to flow processes. Now in the next video onwards, we'll look at some examples from this topic.